What's going on, YouTube? Why you should throw a spinnerbait and my favorite setup on today's tips, tech, and discussion. Folks, here it is right here. Here is the spinnerbait, and there's a reason that this bait has been around since 1951 because it flat out catches fish. And this is a bait that is tied on for me from the beginning of the year to the end because of that simple point. It catches fish. And why? Because one, it resembles the bait fish. These blades, as they're coming through the water, they're giving off flash, they're giving off vibration. They are resembling the bait fish in the water column. Perfect example of that. Number two, it gets the bites. It gets bites from small fish, big fish. It gets numbers in the boat. This is ideal bait for that attribute, for you to catch numbers of fish and for you to see what type of fish are biting, what type of fish are active. And the third attribute that I really love about the spinnerbait, it allows me to cover a lot of water and find active fish. This is one of those baits that I can go from pocket to pocket, bank to bank, and the active fish will tell me very quickly what they want by me throwing a spinnerbait. So in this video, we're going to discuss some blade combinations. We're going to go over some of the weights, some of my favorite colors, as well as my rod and reel setup. But this is definitely one of my favorite baits to throw throughout the year, the spinnerbait. All right, folks. First one's up is the double willow. And the double willow spinnerbait is one that I throw on sunny days. You always need a little wind when you're throwing a spinnerbait, but I definitely throw this on sunny days where I want a lot of flash. I'm keeping this bait within the water column, within a foot, and I'm burning it. And this gets those fish just to see it for a second, for them to track it and strike it. So definitely one that you want to throw during sunny days is the double willow for that flash. A little bit of vibration you receive out of it, but it definitely gets that flash to get that real good reaction strike. All right, folks, here it is right here, the double Colorado spinnerbait. And anytime you're going to create that thump, this is the spinnerbait that you want to throw. We have docks, laydowns, grass, you have stumps. This is the spinnerbait that you want to throw, especially when you have low water clarity, because the thump creates a vibration that those fish can be attracted to. They can hone in on their vibration and strike this bait very aggressively. You want the best of both worlds? Well, here you go right here with the tandem spinnerbait. You still get the thump from the front Colorado blade, and the blade in the back is a gold willow, and this gives you the flash and the thump. You can throw this in the same areas as the two previous spinnerbaits. Open water is perfect. Docks, laydowns, stumps, areas of high frequency where you know bass are gonna hide. You can definitely throw this tandem spinnerbait. Here we go. Here's my setup for my spinnerbait. And it's real simple. 6'9" to 7 foot medium heavy Abu Garcia Veritas rod, 7-3-1 Revo X bait caster, 17 to 20 pound Berkeley 100% Vanish, and a 3/8 to ½ ounce tandem spinnerbait by Buckeye Lures. And I'm able to cover a lot of water and search for fish. If there's a lot of structure and objects around, such as docks, stumps, things of that nature, I'll go down to 6'9" so I can make a lot of roll casts around those areas. They're not wide open casts, but they are just specific target casts, just to roll that spinnerbait by there to see if there's a fish there to get that bite. So there's my spinnerbait setup. Let's go into weight and color combinations so you can be more effective throwing your spinnerbait. All right, folks, let's break it down and talk about colors. And I like to keep it real simple when I throw my spinnerbaits. I usually go with colors that resemble the shads, the chartreuse and whites, and the all whites. When I'm fishing for smallmouth, I'll go with all chartreuse with chartreuse blades, or I'll go with a all white with a chartreuse and a white blade. Those funky color combinations really get those smallmouth inquisitive, and where they're able to track that speeding spinnerbait as I burn it in the water column and strike it. So when I'm fishing for smallmouth, I try to go with some real bright colors that sort of stand out within the water. And then when I'm fishing for largemouth, I try to stay with those shads, the chartreuse and whites, and the all whites. Just keep it real simple, covering a lot of water, catching bass. Let's talk about weights within our spinnerbait. When do we want to throw a 1/4 ounce? When do we want to throw a 3/8? When do we want to throw a half? And as you can see here, in regards to my 1/4 ounce here and my half ounce, that is a great question. I want to throw a 1/4 ounce spinnerbait in regards to the forage, in regards to the bait fish. As you see here on this spinnerbait, the blades match the size of that head. So I have smaller blades with the 1/4 ounce, and I have larger blades with the half ounce. And that sort of tells me what I'm looking for. I want to match the hatch. So if I see small schools of bait fish and I'm throwing around docks and grass and wood and laydowns, I definitely want to throw a 1/4 ounce. That stays in the water column, I'm able to burn it and get that reaction strike. If I'm in open water and I see large schools of bait fish, then I definitely want to go with the larger spinnerbait. And in the same retrospect, I want to match the hatch. Time again, I get asked, what is the best retrieve for throwing a spinnerbait? And the answer I always give is, let the fish tell you how they want it. And there's so many ways that you can retrieve a spinnerbait. You can burn it back, you can hop it, you can jerk it, you can bounce it off the bottom, you can flutter it. There are a number of ways that you can throw a spinnerbait, and the fish will tell you how they want it time and time again. So make sure that you're confident in your spinnerbait setup, and make sure that you give those fish different views on the retrieve, and they'll definitely tell you how they want it when they give you that strike that you're so looking for. All right, folks, there you have it. Here's my spinnerbait setup and the conditions in which I like to use it. So the next time you go to the lake, don't forget to tie on the spinnerbait. Make sure you got the right blade combinations and the right weight. Vary your retrieve so the fish can tell you how they want it, and just go out there and have fun catching fish. As always, I'm Devon Banks. Don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms, and good luck fishing. Peace.